everything has changed.
I don't know, it sounds like he's crazy.
I'm not crazy.
Hey, Caitlin.
Hi, Jimmy. I am such a big fan, and you are fantastic in Dark Matter. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Oh, God, I love this show so much. How good is it? It's crazy. It's so
so
satisfying.
Good. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
My first question for you is, what about Dark Matter and Ryan's arc drew you to this project?
Well, I'll be honest. It's just like the first thing was I read the pilot, and I was like, I mean, this is so well written. And I'm pretty comfortable playing a best friend because I'm a caretaker myself, and so that's like an articulation of me. And then I read that, and then I was like, this is so good. But this man is posing, he's talking about that universal human daydream / fear of like, oh my God, what if I had made the other choice? What would it be like? Would it be better? Would it be worse?
Yeah.
And so that was a tall order. And so, and so I was like, well, can you follow through? So I read his book, and I was so satisfied. I was blown away by how clear he was. And I was just like, oh, this man has a huge heart. He understands what it's like to be a human being in a deep, deep way. And I love when a brilliant person also has that capacity. And so I started speaking to Blake, and it was the case. And I immediately said I'd love to be a part. And then as the scripts developed, because normally when you have such a beautiful piece of IP, and then you have a big network that wants to like make a story out of it, they hire someone else who's like, this is how TV goes. And they got Blake not just to be the screenwriter of this IP, but also to be the showrunner. He's literally there the whole time. And so the television show wasn't like a fluffing of IP. It was a deeper articulation of what was already there. And so he could show us all the stuff visually that you can't really do in a book. You're giving it in here. And so the exploration of that, and Ryan developed as kind of the barometer, I guess, for the audience to see what we're talking about here. Okay, the soul is the same. We're talking about the same soul, which is generally established by 6, 8, whatever. And these 3 men were the same at least until 18, and then again until 24. And so the first guy, he just wins and wins, and he's got the confidence to show it and the ease. And the second guy has the same drive but didn't win. And so he wants it, but he didn't quite get it. And so there's some bitterness there, but he's still a caretaker. And then the third guy, again, such a sweetheart, but he's never even developed his own drive because he was broken at an early age. And so being able to show the same soul and how different the realities could be, but share that same, inner self. Mm-hmm. But having to adjust for their own realities. That was like more than I'd even bargained for. I was hopping on because I loved this project, and I've already loved Blake and some of the producers, and it just turned out to be more than I could have ever even hoped for. And then to put it all together with Joel and Jennifer and Elise and Apple and Chris Parnell and David Manpearl and Matt Tolmar, you just know everybody's great. Everybody's like really great people. And that's not always the best thing for the end result. And then to see the show, I just was blown away. I couldn't believe that all of the working parts that are so bigger than the sum were even bigger when put together. Yeah, I was blown away. I still am. I'm like, I can't believe I get to be a part of this.
It's so good, and you are fantastic in it. I love how you're talking about Ryan's different arcs and kind of turning points in his story. It kind of reminded me of how Everything Everywhere All at Once approached a multiverse story, where it's less about the crazy sci-fi of it all, but using that to focus on the humanity.
Yeah.
How do you think Dark Matter kind of stands out in this subgenre that has become such a popular thing of multiverse stories?
Well, first of all, it has become so popular, and so with that, they have to change it a little bit. No, this is our multiverse. This is all multiverse. Blake Crouch wrote this book before, not before anyone talked about multiverse, but before this current stage of that we're dealing with. So his is completely, it's his own, but it's also based in quantum physics and quantum mechanics and quantum theory. But, you know, so we're taking superposition, an abject truth of quantum physics. And unlike Schrodinger, who was, you know, kind of uptight with his cat example of saying like, well, if you're saying, I mean, because superposition does exist, whether it's two particles taking up space at the same time, it's a particle and it's a wave, it's in two different locations, it's real. And almost like Schrodinger was kind of like tamping down quantum theory by saying, but that doesn't mean this, because then you're saying this. And Blake is saying, no, you've oversimplified it. I'll call it Crouch's cat. Like, Blake is actually articulating superposition in a possible way, unlike Schrodinger.
I love it. And then I have to ask, because I'm a huge fan of Psych, is there any chance we could see you back in the Psych 4 movie? Because I love that we've been seeing you pop up in the movies.
Yeah. I don't think so, but here's the thing. James Roday is my ride or die. James Rodriguez is my ride or die. And so we will, half the times, like early on, the reason why Mary kept coming back is because, I don't know, early on I needed health insurance. James like, well, I'll come up with a reason why Mary's back. And so I will always be a part of Psych. Like, that will not be the last one. He's always throwing ideas at me of like, what about this? What about this? And I'm always like, yes, yes, yes.
I love it.
Mary will never die. Don't worry.
Mary will never die.
No.
I love that. You have this cast is just fantastic from top to bottom.
They're crazy.
Is there a moment you remember where maybe a scene partner really knocked out of the park and helped to elevate your own performance?
Oh, I mean, you can't be on film with Joel Edgerton, who is most of my scene work is with Joel. If anything, it's just like, oh gosh, why am I with this brilliant actor? So he just naturally will raise anybody in the room. I think he's so talented, and he's such a big heart. That was the reality. It's like, I'm such a fan of his work, so nuanced. It seems like it would be coming from a really precious actor, because it's so freaking good. And then it's like he has no idea he's a movie star, and it's you know, it's a shared value in a lot of Australians I've met. It's just like, it's not about that, which is so refreshing, because, you know, I come from rural New Jersey. I didn't come to LA for any kind of fame or anything. And so to see someone who's like so successful and still able to articulate that reality of like, no, I'm Joel. And he's such a hard worker. You know, I think he played 25, I don't know how many versions. And he'd be like, always, hey man. Just so fun to talk to and to be like a peer with. Yeah, Joel blew me away. And then watching Jennifer, you know, I'd see her, you know, popping into scenes, looking slightly different. And then her realities are so heartbreaking in some ways, so charming. I think they both kind of elevating, and Elise, all three of them are really elevating television acting for me. It's film acting, television acting, reality, it's beautiful. I think they're all gonna win awards. I'll vote for them.
They should.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today, Jimmy. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. I loved you on Psych, Breakout Kings, all of it.
Breakout Kings!
Yeah, I'm just so excited whenever I see you pop up on my screen. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. I appreciate it.
You know me. I've never served you.
It's not funny. Just tell me you know who I am.
I've never seen you before in my life.